The revolution of rest, redefining success in the soft girl era. Have you ever noticed how we wear exhaustion like a badge of honor? How I'm so busy has become our collective anthem, a twisted love letter to productivity that's costing us everything that matters. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Dr. Anisha Moorhead for the Soft Girl Era podcast. If you haven't encountered Dr. Moorhead's work yet, prepare to have your entire worldview transformed. She's not just a thought leader, she's a paradigm shifter whose research and advocacy have created safe harbors for thousands of Black professionals drowning in the dangerous waters of burnout culture. Her insights on how Black professionals can embrace wholeness while honoring their careers, boundaries, and joy were nothing short of revolutionary. What struck me most about our conversation wasn't just her brilliance, though that was abundant, but how she's creating a new paradigm that challenges centuries of conditioning around what strength really means. Dr. Moorhead speaks with the rare combination of academic rigor and soul deep wisdom that comes only from having both studied the problem and lived through its consequences. The truth, we've been sold a dangerous myth. The myth that doing it all, being it all, and sacrificing it all is the price of admission to success. The myth that exhaustion equals excellence. The myth that boundaries are luxuries we cannot afford. And nowhere has this myth been more damaging than for Black women professionals who've long received the message that success requires being twice as strong, twice as resilient, and twice as unshakable as everyone else. But what if, and stay with me here, what if the strongest thing we could do isn't pushing through another sleepless night, but setting the boundary that protects our peace? What if true power isn't found in superhuman endurance, but in the courage to say, this is enough for today? What if, as Dr. Moorhead so eloquently shared, the revolution we need isn't one of more noise and chaos, but of intentional rest and radical self definition? This is the heart of what we're calling the soft girl era, a movement that's redefining strength not as the capacity to endure everything, but as the wisdom to choose what truly matters. Let me share three profound insights from my conversation with Dr. Moorhead that might just change how you think about success, boundaries, and what it means to live a whole life. First, the radical power of intentional boundaries. I want to tell you about Marnitea Tolos, a pioneer of the soft girl era movement who has created safe spaces for Black professionals drowning in performative strength. Her work reveals something profound. The myth of doing it all has cost us our health, relationships, and creativity. For Black professionals, especially, who've been conditioned to work twice as hard, embracing boundaries isn't weakness, it's revolutionary self preservation. Marnitia recognized that the narrative of Black excellence often comes packaged with expectations of superhuman endurance. While resilience is valuable, she witnessed firsthand the physical and emotional toll of perpetual strength. I remember sitting across from Marnit Haya at a conference where she told me every time a Black woman says, I need a minute, she's not just taking a break, she's dismantling generations of harmful conditioning. That statement hit me like a thunderbolt. The perpetual strength we've been taught to embody comes at steep costs: chronic health conditions, neglected relationships, and unrealized innovations. But Marnatia's revolutionary approach redefines power dynamics in professional spaces by embracing authenticity, vulnerability, and rest as essential components of leadership. Her framework has liberated thousands from the tyranny of exhaustion as achievement, offering a radical alternative to grind culture. She has completely revolutionized how we think about power in professional spaces, creating ripples that are transforming industries and healing generations of harmful narratives around strength and success. This isn't just theory, this is transformation happening in real time. The second insight Dr. Moorhead shared: redefining success through rest and presence. Success isn't measured by exhaustion or sacrifice. The soft girl era invites us to challenge burnout culture by prioritizing intentional rest and full presence. Whether with our children, in our careers, or pursuing personal desires, Landis Harwell embodies this principle perfectly. They've created a framework for Black women professionals that centers intentional rest as a pathway to authentic success. Our culture glorifies exhaustion and wears burnout like badges of honor. "I'm so busy" has become a collective anthem, a twisted love letter to productivity that disproportionately affects Black women professionals. Through their own journey, Landis recognized how grind culture was claiming too many spirits, too much health, and too much joy from Black professionals. They developed a groundbreaking approach to intentional living that challenges centuries of conditioning around productivity and worth. I'll never forget when Landis told a room full of high achieving Black women executives, "Your worth is not measured by your output. The world will take everything you offer until there's nothing left. Your revolutionary act is to save some of yourself for yourself." You could have heard a pin drop in that room as decades of conditioning began to crack. Their framework has liberated thousands from what they call the tyranny of exhaustion as achievement and created ripples transforming entire communities. Landis has sparked a quiet revolution, not of noise and chaos, but of intentional rest and radical self definition that they call the soft girl era. Their commitment to authentic living has become a beacon for those seeking to redefine success on their own terms, terms that include well being, joy, and rest. This quiet revolution centers well being as the foundation for sustainable achievement. And finally, the third insight: wholeness as a deliberate choice. The journey to wholeness requires daily intentional choices. It means rejecting the glorification of busyness and embracing what Landis Harwell calls the revolution of rest. When we choose what truly matters and protect our peace while doing it, we model a new paradigm of success for ourselves and future generations. The Affirmations for Black Girls podcast community exemplifies this principle. They've created a space where Black women explore what the soft girl era means for them in practical, everyday terms. Black women face unique stereotypes and expectations that can prevent them from embracing softness, vulnerability, and rest. Through candid conversations, podcast host Tyra and Bria Black discuss letting go of stereotypes and embracing self validation. The podcast emerged from recognizing that many Black women were seeking permission to prioritize themselves and redefine success beyond external validation. They've created a framework emphasizing that validation starts with you instead of seeking external approval, encouraging women to know their worth without waiting for someone else to affirm it. In one particularly powerful episode, a listener called in to share how she'd finally taken a vacation after 7 years of nonstop work. "I kept waiting for permission," she said, her voice breaking. "I kept waiting for someone to tell me I'd earned it. Then I realized I'm the only one who can give myself that permission." Listeners learn that Trust the process isn't just a platitude, it is understanding that unseen seasons aren't wasted, but are essential parts of growth. The community helps Black women embrace what they call hidden seasons, times not about being forgotten, but about preparation, building foundations, healing, and growing into the next chapter. This is the essence of what Dr. Moorhead shared in our conversation. That wholeness isn't something we achieve once, it's something we choose daily. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds nice, but I have real responsibilities. I have deadlines, I have people counting on me. I can't just opt out of the grind. I hear you. And so does Dr. Moorhead. This isn't about abandoning ambition or lowering standards. It's about recognizing that sustainable excellence requires sustainable practices. It's about understanding that your worth isn't measured by your exhaustion. It's about acknowledging that for too long, particularly for Black women, the price of admission to success has been our well being. And it's about saying collectively, no more. No more sacrificing our health on the altar of productivity. No more missing the moments that matter because we're always plugged in. No more measuring our worth by our output. No more accepting burnout as the cost of achievement. As Dr. Moorhead so powerfully articulated, the soft girl era isn't about being less, it's about being whole. It's about recognizing that softness isn't weakness, it's the secret weapon that keeps you glowing, growing, and cashing every check life owes you. It's about understanding that a soft Black woman is a dangerous thing to underestimate. So, where do we go from here? How do we begin to embody these principles in a world that still rewards the grind? We start by understanding that this isn't just a personal journey, it's a collective uprising. Every time you honor your boundaries, you create permission for someone else to do the same. Every time you prioritize rest, you challenge a system designed to extract maximum productivity at the cost of your well being. I challenge you today, not tomorrow, not when things slow down, not when you've finished that project or reached that goal, but today to identify one area where you've been sacrificing your peace on the altar of productivity, and then make one deliberate choice that honors your boundaries. Block time for rest that is as non negotiable as your most important meeting. Say no to an obligation that doesn't serve your priorities. Create space to be fully present with your loved ones or with yourself because the revolution of rest isn't coming someday. It's happening now in living rooms and boardrooms, in quiet moments of choosing differently and brave acts of saying enough. And when enough of us choose differently, we don't just change our lives, we change the world. So I'll leave you with this question. What if your rest isn't selfish but sacred? What if your boundaries aren't limitations but liberation? What if your wholeness isn't a luxury but a necessity, not just for you, but for everyone your life touches? The world doesn't need more exhausted heroes. It needs whole, present, fully alive human beings who know their worth beyond their work. It needs you, not just what you can produce, but who you are when you're fully present, fully rested, fully alive. The revolution of rest is calling. Will you answer?